friends, Bob Connett with SDSportsBuzz.com and WinterWarriorsLive.com with our semifinal Saturday sod soapbox. It's a lot of S's for one quick sentence, but honestly, one of my favorite days of the year. Semifinal Saturday means a lot to me. I think that it's the epitome of high school football in the state of South Dakota. Now, there's absolutely nothing wrong with state football championships, whether we're in it or not. And of course, I'd prefer that our Warriors be in those games. But the semifinal games to me are so exciting and so memorable for a number of reasons. First off, those games are still at somebody's house, meaning somebody's got a home game there. And in the last 10 years, I think we've played 7 of those games at Warrior Field. And the atmosphere at all those games has just been electric. It's just been incredible, no matter what the weather. You go back to the St. Thomas More game back in 2008. It had just snowed. They had to clear the field off, but still, just an absolutely incredible game. Braden Gardner just had a monster game that night. So that's a memorable thing. Talking about weather, you go back to that 86 team in Custer when it was so cold, just brutal cold. And that 86 Warriors team goes out to Custer and wins that game. You take those memories away. I think of 2 semifinal games that I played in high school. As a junior, Douglas comes here in 1988 and beats us. My senior year, we go to Spearfish and beat them. And I remember the emotion of that semifinal game in Spearfish. We played it on the campus of Black Hill State where Spearfish plays their game. That was a neat experience to play on a college field with that whole wall of a stadium right there that we're not used to seeing. And the atmosphere, like I said, the level of intensity is notched up. The level of urgency is notched up. Everybody knows that with that win, you achieved that major goal. And in South Dakota, that you don't hear about people winning a state championship. They talk about winning the dome. They talk about getting to the dome. Making that championship is so important just for that experience of being able to play at the Dakota Dome, to play on television, to have that experience of being one of the last 2 teams in your class left. And the semifinals open the door to that. Like I said, I think back as a football player and as a football dad of watching and feeling that emotion as a player, and then watching that as a dad from the Hill in 2010 and 2011 in losses, and 2009 and 2012 as victories at Warrior Field. The just disappointment that you felt in those 2 years that we got beat by 2 teams that were better than us, I would think is fair to say. But those victories were incredible in the 09 and 12 games. I know we've talked about them a lot. 2 incredible wins. My youngest son is a freshman now, so I have a son there as well. Marty Peterson has a son that's a sophomore. Jody has a son that's a junior. So not only is this something that we enjoy doing, but we have that connection as parents here as well. We do our best to try not to let that impact what we do and what we say, but we've got sons out there too, and we want to see things as well as we can for our kids and more importantly, their team. So semifinal Saturday is something really special in high school football in the state of South Dakota. I look forward to it. Like I said, whether our team is in it or not, I look forward to it, and I look forward to experiencing that again on Saturday. And I look forward to calling that game for you folks. Again, that game will be Groton area at Winter. Kickoff will be at 6 p.m. Central Time. Our pregame will get going at about 5:25 p.m. and it'll be Winter versus Groton. We have not played Groton since 1983. One time that we played the Tigers. That was at the Pheasant Bowl, which was actually the first game played after they'd constructed the stadium that's now at New Warrior Field. When they erected it, first game of the season, 1983, Winter in Groton. 100 degrees. It was played on a Saturday afternoon. Brad Nas found the end zone a couple times, had just under 100 yards rushing. John Yannick scored the other touchdown for the Warriors. Big defensive performances from Brad Whitley and Brad Phillips. Troy Nedved had an interception. 20-7 the final score. That was 32 years ago. Now, this Groton team that we'll see on Saturday will do all kinds of different formations. If you have a chance to listen to my pregame interview with Coach Aker, he will get into a little bit more detail on that, about all the different looks that they've had and the stress that that's caused our defensive coordinator, Coach Trent Olson, because they do so many varied and different things. Some huge kids on the line for Groton, some real good skill position players, and I look forward to the challenge of taking on a team that we're really unfamiliar with, a different look on offense, different looks on defense, and I look forward to that. And that's part of the excitement of the football playoffs, is getting to see something different, not just the same teams. There's some argument that's made always about you want the 4 best teams in the playoffs. I want to crown a state champion, and a deserving state champion. And until somebody can prove to me that a playoff system is crowning undeserving champions, then the point is really moot. We want to crown a deserving state champion, and I think our systems are doing that. Whether it was the old PowerPoint system, the current PowerPoint system, I don't think anybody's been gypped out of a state championship based on their seedings, based on that kind of performance. So I'm looking forward to it. It's going to be fun. If you can make it, the weather's supposed to be all right. A little cooler, but it's November football, and there's nothing wrong with that. So join us up at Warrior Field for the game. And again, 6 o'clock kickoff. And if you can't make it, join us on winterwarriorslive.com. Best of luck as well down the road to the Cologne Cowboys. They take on Harding County. That'll be on Cologne Cowboys Live, our sister station. And as well on Saturday, double dip action for Winter High School, because our volleyball team will be playing in the semifinals for volleyball. That game will start at 1 p.m. Central Time. So watch our volleyball girls in region action, and they're kind of going through the same thing here, that strife of win and continue, or lose and be done. So it'll be fun. 2 games on Saturday. Let's talk about some of the other matchups as well. I already talked about that Cologne-Harding County matchup, and best of luck to Cologne. Harding County is a stalwart of 9-man football, just up there in the sticks, isolated, but they get so many boys in their high school to participate in football. I would be interested to see how many boys that go to Harding County aren't playing football. I bet that number is really minimum. And that's such a rural area, but those kids have completely bought into that program. It's a wonderful story. And, they played in the state championship game a couple of years ago against each other. These 2 teams did in 2012. So a lot of emotion. 2 great West River programs there, and 2 of the top West River programs. I'd put Cologne, I'd put Winter, I'd put Harding County, 1, 2, 3, not necessarily in that order. Just down the road, Gregory's got a great program, Phillip with a great program, St. Thomas More with a great program. So there's some quality West River teams, but for sure 3 of the top ones are still alive. Corsica Stickney is at Langford, and I'm going to be pulling for Corsica Stickney in this. The quarterback for Corsica Stickney, his mom was maid of honor in our wedding, so I got to pull for the Jaguars in that one. 9A Canastota at Waverly South Shore. I'm going to go with a winter connection theme on these games. Brad Schroeder, former All-State center for the Winter Warriors back in the early 90s, and went on to have a nice career with the University of Sioux Falls, won a national championship over there. Brad's living in Canastota. He's got some young Schroeders that are going to be coming up, probably going to be Seahawks over there in the next several years. They are at Waverly South Shore is at Canastota, I believe. So that should be another exciting game, and I think Canastota would be the favorite there. Scotland at Sully Buttes. We've got that Seffner connection, so good luck to Scotty and to Coach Seffner up there. Purple and gold as well, so I'll be pulling for the Chargers in that game. Scotland at Sully Buttes. Scotland knocked off Cologne in the last game of the regular season. Quality team over there as well. But like I said, we'll be pulling for the winter connection there with the Sully Buttes Chargers. 9AA, Stanley County at Woonsocket, Weston and Springs. South Central. Defending state runner-up in 9AA are the Melon Ballers, and Stanley County, our old Big Dakota foe. So I'm going to go with that as my winner connection, and I'll be hoping to see a West River team go in there and win. Stanley County upset special for sure, but they've got a lot of talent, some big, strong kids, and they seem really determined. So best of luck to the Buffs. Woolsey Wessington at Webster, and that game will be played in Waubay. So if you're keeping track at home, we've got Woonsocket, Wessington Springs, South Central. We've got Woolsey, Wessington, and they're at Webster area, and that game's being played in Waubay. There's a lot of W's there, okay? But there will only be 2 W's in the class that come out of there. Again, with Woolsey Wessington, we've got the McCready connection up there. So I think I would have to go with Woolsey Wessington in that one. And the other 11B matchup, Tri-Valley at Sioux Valley. Sioux Valley kind of an upstart. Tri-Valley has just been a stalwart of 11B. I think they were up to 11A for a couple of years, but just a great program. I would love to see another matchup between Tri-Valley and Winter in that state championship game. 2 absolute thrillers in the last 6 years. And don't forget about a 2013 first round playoff game that Winter won 18-16, which was one of the more exciting games that we had a chance to call that one. That was our first year calling games, and it was just an intense football game, a lot of hitting, kids just into the football game, huge crowd as well. So best of luck to Tri-Valley. I'd love to see them in the state championship game. And then I'll be pulling for Winter, of course, on Saturday as well. Let's talk about the big schools real quick. Sioux Falls Christian at Madison. Kenny Weiland will be pulling for your Bulldogs. Sioux Falls Christian, they're a real senior heavy team. They gave Madison a heck of a run for their money the first time around, but the Bulldogs seem to be the class act in 11A. They have the last couple of years though, and have faltered at the state championship games. But I think the Bulldogs in this one. And Lennox at West Central. West Central is one of those teams, and we didn't have much luck playing West Central for the most part through the late 80s into the 90s. They handed it to us several times, but I grew to really respect that program. Old Coach Utek, who cut his teeth here in the coaching realms in Winter and then went on to just huge success at West Central. So I'll call that my Winter connection there. West Central and Lennox, and 2 conference foes that should be a great football game. Lennox, of course, went out and knocked off Thomas More in their first round game. In 11 AA, Yankton at Harrisburg. Yankton Bucks have been a perennial power in the big school levels, and I think I'll be pulling for the Bucks there. Mitchell at Riggs High School. Hey, I got to go with Riggs, got to go with Brevin Kaiser. A showdown of 2 of the top quarterbacks in the 11 AA division. My money's on the Kaiser kid. Go out and get it, and let's see you down there at the Dome as well, too, Brevin. So best of luck to them. And then the big schools, Brandon Valley at Washington. My good friend Jeff Smith over there, his son Ty, playing for the Sioux Falls Washington Warriors, so I'm going to be pulling for them. And, you know, Coach Statham coached that Flandre team that was down here in 2012. He's had a rough row of stumps over there with Washington. You know, when you're replacing a legend like Coach Hermanson over there, that's some huge shoes to fill. The first couple of years didn't go as well as a lot of the Washington faithful thought it should have, but his team is playing some really solid football. Probably the favorites in 11 AAA. Best of luck to Ty Smith and his team. And then O'Gorman and Roosevelt, I don't really have a horse in the race in that one, but those are 2 really good programs. Best of luck. I guess Ronnie Bartles used to coach with O'Gorman, if I remember correctly. So we'll tip our hat to the old Warrior, and we'll say O'Gorman in that one. So it kind of runs down the action. Those games will all be Friday nights, so by the time our game's played, there'll be results from those 11A, AA, and AAA games. But it's semifinal Saturday. It's one of my favorite weekends of the entire year. I'll be watching games on the net probably on Friday night, and then I'll be bringing you, Winter and Groton area, live from the Hill at Warrior Field, 6 p.m. on winterwarriorslive.com. Marty Peterson and I will be bringing the ball game to you proudly as we've had all year. It's an honor for us to do this. We love doing it. We love being able to share winter high school sports with you, whether it's volleyball, basketball, wrestling, football. It's an honor for us to be able to do this, and we appreciate you joining us. As I always say, plow on, my friends. Bob Connett signing off for SDSportsBuzz.com and WinterWarriorsLive.com. Go Warriors.